Hey friends, did you know Microsoft has over 2 million JVMs running behind the scenes for things that you know and love like Minecraft, LinkedIn, Azure itself, MSN, Bing, and more? That's made possible by thousands of Java developers just like you. Bruno Borges is here to show me how that enables Microsoft to build the best tools and services for you, the Java developer, today on Azure Friday. Hey friends, I'm Scott Hanselman and it's Azure Friday. I'm here with Bruno, who's going to get me up to speed on Java development at Microsoft. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, man?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm doing all right. I'm appreciating being to talk to you because it's been a while since I've done Java, but you love it. Like I'm the C# person, you're the Java person, and now we've got the best of both worlds, right? Peanut butter and chocolate together on Azure Friday.
It seems like is Microsoft the bread
I know
and
that's
the
a good
peanut
point.
butter, you're the
I don't.
chocolate.
I was thinking more Reese's peanut butter cups, but if there's bread involved, I'll be there as well. So, is it true that there's 2 million JVMs running behind the scenes at Microsoft?
That is true. Yeah, last year we and first of all, thanks for having me. It's I've been watching you all over the place, and I'm like, when I'm gonna have a chance to talk about Java with Scott. So this is it. This is the moment, right?
Let's do it.
Um, so yeah, to your question, last year we did some assessment inside the company, and we identified about 500,000 JVMs. But those were mostly at LinkedIn and Yammer and Minecraft, which are very well known inside, at least inside the company, quite a Java shop, right? LinkedIn was even before LinkedIn. For those who don't know, created Apache Kafka, right, years ago. And the use of Kafka inside Microsoft, not only LinkedIn, is huge. Yammer also created a framework called Drop Wizard years ago, and it's still being used. And then, of course, Minecraft Java Edition on the client, and there is a service called Minecraft Realms where we host the servers for the players, and all of that is backed by Java. And that first assessment, we identified about 500,000 JVMs. And then we started digging, and we continued to find even more JVMs. And eventually we realized, oh, we actually have in the order of millions of JVMs. And that's where we are accounting today about 2 million JVMs across the company, just for internal purposes. This does not include all of the customers on Azure.
That sounds like that would actually qualify Microsoft as a Java shop, right? I mean, there's thousands of engineers that are using Java. There's millions of JVMs, probably a ton of data as well. So not just a .NET shop, not a Python shop, also a Java shop, at its core.
Yeah, I mean, we like to show this slide here to people to get an idea, like why is Microsoft using Java? And I mean, it is LinkedIn, it is Azure Infrastructure, Yammer. There's also Minecraft, but we also have Android development, right? Microsoft develops a lot of Android applications, and some of those applications are written in Java, sometimes in Kotlin, sometimes cross-platform technologies with Xamarin. But eventually, there is a need for Java, and we have thousands of Java developers across the company. Then also being an MSN that I mentioned here. But yeah, 2 million JVMs. It's quite big for a .NET company,
Yeah.
Scott.
Well, a thing that is interesting here is that I'm also seeing that little star in the corner there that says internal usage. That's not customer workloads. That's just internal Java used at Microsoft, which is a bigger number than I would have guessed, and certainly many, many, many more when you bring customers into it. So yeah, that's a surprise I think for some people, but hopefully a welcome surprise to the Java shops and the Java folks that are hopefully watching this right now.
Yeah, and exactly. I mean, this usage of Java inside a company does bring us to a point where we have to engage with the community. We have to engage with open source projects. And this is for the benefit of our internal needs and to benefit of our Azure customers, right? When we make those investments, when we make those contributions, everybody wins. Our internal Java developers win, our internal businesses win, and our Azure customers also win from that. So that's why it's important that we have this community engagement across the OpenJDK project, the Eclipse Foundation, and other projects that developers know and love.
Hmm. Now, I know that you've got and you work on a lot of tools and services that are specially designed for Java developers. Maybe you could run me through like a flow of how you make things and what you use and the tools you use to use Java.
Um, yeah, I mean, we can get started first with the build of OpenJDK. I mean,
Hmm.
this is a major milestone for Microsoft. Last year, we released a build, a binary of the OpenJDK open source project. OpenJDK is just the reference implementation of the Java platform, which includes the Java language specification and the Java virtual machine specification. And OpenJDK is a GPL project led by Oracle primarily, but with contributions from several companies: Red Hat, SAP, Alibaba, Azul Systems, and many others that some of them are even our partners in our commercial businesses. So there's a lot of synergy there, and a lot of work that happens behind the scenes. Developers don't realize we exchange a lot of information. We contribute a lot in the project. One thing that we did last year was bring support for OpenJDK on Windows on ARM, which is some of the advancements that we're doing in our hardware and Windows line. So that contribution to the OpenJDK project actually enabled other contributors of the OpenJDK project to port those changes and enable the macOS M1 support. So in a way, we can say that we contributed to the OpenJDK project to be backported or ported to Apple M1 devices, which to some developers, it's mind-blowing.
Well, it's exactly what people wanted, right? So you're giving the people what they want, which is great. And they can check it all out, of course, at microsoft.com/openjdk. So that sounds like that's where you start your work in Java is there.
Yeah, exactly. And what happened last year, we released initially Java 11, OpenJDK 11, and then by the end of 2021, sorry, I'm getting lost on that. 2021, geez. Well,
yeah, just very recently.
Very recently, we released Java 17. And one of the cool things that people don't realize, Java 17 is today the latest LTS version of Java. And it is actually available already on Minecraft Java Edition. So developers that are running Minecraft Java Edition, they are running one of the latest and greatest versions of Java today. And that does not come as a small initiative. That required a lot of work from our engineering team, the Minecraft team, and also the community, because Minecraft also builds on top of a lot of open source projects. So, cool. So when we talk about Java 17, we do like to talk about that Microsoft believes in modern Java. So in the same way that we are using these latest versions of Java 11 and 17 inside the company, we really want customers to also see those benefits and apply that to their cloud development and their business applications, because there are lots of benefits. So if even Minecraft Java Edition, if your son and daughter are using Java 17 at home, playing Minecraft Java Edition, why aren't you using that at work, right? There's a lot of benefits for that.
That is a bit of pressure to upgrade my Java services to 17, since my kids are already doing that themselves.
Exactly. Let's put some pressure there. And the benefits do come to productivity, lots of changes in the Java language. The runtime got a lot smaller, and performance in awareness of container deployments, deduped strings, which reduces the amount of memory consumed by your Java application, and faster startup time, and of course, memory management. There are something that people don't realize. There are like 5 garbage collectors inside the JVM that you can choose from based on the type of your workload. So once you monitor your workload in production or performance load tasks, you can identify what are the right knobs that you need to tune in your JVM to get the best performance possible.
Very cool.
So one thing that I would like to explain a little bit is what you were asking before, like what are the tools for Java development that Microsoft provides? So we have Microsoft built OpenJDK, which is like the JDK, and we provide commercial support on Azure. So if you're running that on Azure and you have an issue, a problem, you can open a support ticket and we're gonna help you with that. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to developing applications, people, especially Java developers, they may not realize there is a lot of tools that we provide that come with Java support. We can start with Playwright and Visual Studio Code. You're writing your Java application, you need an editor, an IDE. And of course, there are lots of choices out there, but we also invest in Visual Studio Code in partnership with Red Hat and VMware for the Spring support. And then once you have your code there, your microservice or web application, Playwright can allow you to run an end-to-end testing of your navigation flow of your web applications. And it does come with that support with Java. You can record navigation flow in the browser and generates a Java code that you just can copy and paste and put into a JUnit class. And that becomes part of your task flow of your application. Whenever you build it, it will test your application. When it comes to GitHub, GitHub Copilot is this amazing thing that just realizes what we are thinking. I mean, you've tried Copilot before, right, Scott?
Absolutely.
It's something that, I mean, for developers, it's the evolution of the copy and paste, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are so used to going to Stack Overflow or Googling, and you just want to actually get that piece of code, and Copilot does that for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say I wouldn't call it the evolution of copy and paste. I think about it more as a straighter line from my intent to the computer's language expression. So I intend to do something. I can express that in my language of choice, which is in fact English, and then it'll express it in Java, and it jumpstarts my whole experience. So it's great that we have support for Java with GitHub Copilot.
Yeah, and I think it's for developers who want to give it a try right now. If you're watching this video, there is a wait list to get access to the feature. But as soon, maybe you are watching this in the future, and that is already available. But go to this URL and you can find how to get access to it. And then when it comes to building and deploying your application, or actually building and doing like CI/CD and DevOps, GitHub Actions is the way to go for lots of projects there. There is plenty of documentation about Maven and Gradle and Ant, these are the 3 build tools most used. Actually, Maven and Gradle are the most used ones, but Ant is still out there, and that's why there is also documentation for that. And finally, the thing that I do realize is the amount of Java applications that are deployed to production on Linux servers is huge. There are applications that are deployed on Windows servers. I did a survey on Twitter a while ago, and I found lots of stories. But when it comes to production of Java applications, it's quite common. It's Linux. But developers do like to use Windows for development and also for gaming and other things. So they kind of like this single environment. But Windows Subsystem for Linux allows Java developers to have this Linux environment, easy to access, integrated Visual Studio Code on their local computer without having to switch between Linux and Windows and other operating systems. So much easier. And pretty much everything that you do for Java, at least server side, will work just fine over there because it's Linux at the end of the day. So all these 5 things combined, plus OpenJDK, and of course, plus the Java ecosystem, gives a powerful development environment for Java developers with Microsoft technologies. But, you can build with Microsoft tools, but you can also build with whatever you prefer, whatever you're familiar with. Developers have experience with other tools. The Java ecosystem has been there for decades, right? So it's really about developing whatever tools they prefer and they're familiar with. So that's why we invested in a lot of plugins and things to integrate with these existing tools, so they can get those benefits for cloud development and Java development, but within the space that you feel comfortable with. But providing some value as much as possible.
Right. People don't want to change their entire development workflow just because they want to use Azure, just because they want to use VS Code. So you're meeting developers where they are, and you're letting them use the tools that make them happy, which I think is really cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Visual Studio Code is interesting because, it's this lightweight editor, but powerful with lots of extensions that bring features that developers actually look for. But, a Java developer may as well just use VS Code as truly an editor and just use Maven from the command line or Gradle from the command line if that is what they prefer. So there's a lot of choice there as well. But once developers have those applications ready, they've developed, they've tested, they've built, they've collaborated with other developers through GitHub discussions and issues and pull requests. It really comes about, okay, where do I deploy this? So Microsoft helped me with all these tools, but now I want to put these applications in the cloud. And I mean, there's plenty of options as well for services, depending on the needs of the business, depending on the needs of the developer, of the application, and all the way from VMs to containers to PaaS services. And very much like .NET, everything that a Java developer can do here, .NET developer can do. And that is, I think, what's the beauty of cloud development, because developers from all different languages, they meet right, together in the same place.
It's so nice. I mentioned at the beginning that I did Java. It was many, many years ago, but I'm looking here and I'm seeing Tomcat. I'm like, oh, that's great. And I'm seeing Spring Cloud. I'm seeing things that are familiar while other developers might be looking and saying, oh, containers, you can use that in Kubernetes. That's great. Oh, OpenShift. I didn't know we had OpenShift. We've actually got Azure Fridays on that. So Java developers should see themselves reflected in this slide.
Yeah, I mean, Tomcat. Funny fact. I saw this this morning, today or this week, during this recording, is the 18th birthday of Spring Framework. So 18 years. I mean, .NET celebrated how many years just recently?
Yeah. With .NET's on 20, we said our 20 year, and then Visual Studio had 25.
25. Visual Studio was pretty much born at the same time as Java, and then .NET is born 20 years ago. 18 years ago is Spring. So all of these technologies continue to evolve, continue to learn from each other, and all to the benefit of developers, no matter what choice they have, right? I mean, they can choose whatever they want.
I'm realizing I was doing work in Java 25 years ago in VI against a mainframe. But yes, you could be doing that today as well. So yeah, any Java developer can use any tool that they want, and they're going to find a home and a community on Azure, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to be rude here and just finish this presentation without a demo, but there's so much that we want to talk about, and so much that we can, like, hey, here's how we do VS Code, and then Playwright, and then Maven, and then GitHub, and then Azure. There's so much that we have been working on to integrate. And please.
So I have an idea. Let's do this. So friends who are watching Azure Friday, this is part one of Java development with Microsoft. Stay tuned. Coming up right next is going to be part 2, and we're going to see all demos and Visual Studio Code and lots more. And I'm learning a lot today on Azure Friday. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Azure Friday. Now I need you to like it, comment on it, tell your friends, retweet it. Watch more Azure Friday.